For people meeting you for the first time, who are you? Introduce yourself. My name is Lorelai Paige, and I'm a musical artist. How did Chaotic Brilliance start? Um, about 3 years ago, I had the idea to just kind of change my sound. I was finishing my folk album, Character Development, and whenever it was finished, I kind of started hearing different like synth pads, I guess, and I just kind of went for it. I kind of had this idea to just explore pop and bigger sounds and pick up my electric a little more and see what I could do with that. And I don't know, it just kind of formed on its own. I wrote a song called Punish for My Patience, and I didn't know that that song was actually going to want me to make that album. Like, I wanted that song to kind of be the big message for the album, I guess. And I didn't realize it at the time that all of the sounds that I made with that song were going to be heavily influenced throughout the rest of the album. And I wrote a song, Drawing a Blank, whenever I knew that I wanted to make this album. But then I just couldn't write anything at all. And it was just the lyrics, usually they flow right through me, and I have to sit down with a pencil and paper and just like scribble it all down. And when I tried going and chasing that sound at first, it was kind of challenging. I couldn't exactly, I don't know, I couldn't exactly put words to paper of what I even wanted to say. So it took me a while to really figure out, what do I want this album to be about? And then the idea kind of hit me with the song Punish for My Patience. I kind of sang about not wanting to be in Pennsylvania, just kind of wanting to explore and see the city life, and then, talking about the pressures of other people trying to influence me and kind of give me their judgment. And I don't know, the album kind of was just like, why don't I just go for it and talk about what it's like for me to be an artist and, what life is like now. So yeah. All right, walk through the album and its main message. How do the songs come together? Well, Drawing a Blank, obviously. I wanted that to be the number one song on the whole album, like the first title track. It was kind of, I don't know, it felt very, very storytelling to start at the beginning, start from scratch, literally drawing a blank. And then, I wanted to give more of that like pop sound first, so I had 80s AF, and then I had Up and Down, which both produced by Dylan. He's really, really talented, super, super cool drummer. And then, I kind of wanted to give that energy of like, life is kind of vibrant right now, and I'm doing shows and I'm traveling and exploring, so I wanted to just kind of give that piece right up front. Here's what I'm doing. And then it started to get more into depth of like who I am. I have the song "Sex with Mary Jane." I like to partake, and I don't know. It kind of it led me to exploring more of like a jazzy feel and go back to the blues roots that I had. And Dan immediately like just saw the vision, ran with it with me, and then reached out to Noah Myers, played the guitar, pulled that song all together. And then, I had Ghosts, and that was kind of about, the industry. Sitting in the basement is kind of, I guess symbolic for you're sitting at the first level and you're trying to climb up. So whenever we were writing that song, that was kind of what was running through my head was, I'm leveling up, and I kind of wanted to sing about that, talk about that a little bit. And, Darcy Saint, he's definitely on a higher level than I am, personally, is how I feel. And, I wanted to make sure he knew that, like, there's more than just one level above us, and we kind of just wrote back and forth about how we feel, and he wrote about, the ball and chain that you make yourself, tied to irrelevant thoughts, things that don't even matter that you can tie yourself down by. And yeah, so that was Ghosts, and then Ran Out of Breath. Ran Out of Breath was kind of, I was explaining myself all the time to people, and people were trying to judge me and some people gave me some solid advice, and then some people it felt like they wanted to change me, or change what I thought, or changed how I made things, even, or my music, or wanted to change my sound. And Ran Out of Breath was like, you know what? Why am I even screaming into this void where I can't even breathe anymore? So I kind of made the video to kind of express that, and the actors, Basir and Sarah, they kind of represent, my own thoughts just like holding me down because really anybody can tell you anything, but it's up to you to actually take that in. So it was kind of representing all of the things that people told me that I was taking in that I was like, get away from me, and fighting back. And then, yeah, Punished for My Patience. Swung right in. It's kind of near the end of the album. It comes after the song Sometimes, which sometimes it's more of a reflection song. It's that slow song that take a minute to digest everything that I had said from the beginning of the album. Then swings right into Punished for My Patience, where I talk about, being here in Pittsburgh and being in the city and feeling the energy and just loving it and not wanting to listen to anybody else and not wanting to do anything for status or money, doing it for my craft, And then it goes into Young and Wasted, where a lot of people actually thought that was going to be a party song. Nope. And it's kind of about a lot of things pertaining to being young and kind of wasting away your life with things that, people try to push on you when you're young. And I don't know, I'm at an age where a lot of my friends are either partying all the time or they're trying to have a family. And I'm here just trying to make my music. And I don't know, I don't want to waste away without seeing my projects through. And I feel like I definitely have something in me that is screaming to be shared. So I feel like I owe it to myself to be able to do that. So that's really what Young and Wasted is about. And then Chaotic Brilliance. The song kind of speaks for itself if you listen to the instrumental and the lyrics. I just wanted to explain what it's like to create a song. And me and Dylan kind of just went back and forth, played different keys, pads, and I don't know, it just turned into Chaotic Brilliance. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown. I might have gotten some songs mixed up, but like the order, but I think that's pretty much the from front to back, just kind of how it went. What do you want people to take away from listening to this album? What do you want them to feel? I want them to feel the energy, honestly. The energy of what chaotic brilliance could honestly mean to you. I wrote this from the perspective of being a musical artist, obviously. So when people were listening to this, I don't want them to limit that, like, oh, you have to be in, like, the music arts to understand this album. It could be for any kind of artistic, creativity, like-minded people, it could be, honestly, if you're a painter, it could be about that and like the struggles of going back and forth, or photography, or even vlogging, content creation. And I wanted it to kind of show you're gonna go through up and downs, you're gonna get judged, you're gonna have limits, you're gonna waste some of your own potential, or you're gonna succeed, and it's kind of just about my journey and how I went through it. But I want people to take away from it as it could be part of your journey too. You can take some things that I said in this album and kind of relate it in your own way to your own life. So I'd say take away the energy and the creativity and the message of be a creative. Go for it. Don't limit yourself, and you're going to end up with some chaotic brilliance. But yeah. And honestly, I don't know, this album, I've been listening to it a lot too, and I feel like I hear it differently now that it's out, and it's only been like a day, but I can honestly feel how I felt whenever I first started making this album, and I felt that spark of creativity, and I don't know, if it can make you feel that way too, then I'd say let the creativity just strike you, and I don't know, maybe take some inspiration.
Can we go a little bit deeper into how you're feeling differently now
Yeah.
that's out?
So, I don't know, it feels like I'm listening to it for the first time almost. And I had it on my car radio driving here actually. And I don't know, it feels like I hear myself as like somebody who's like going through the hustling process where you're just work, work, work. And now it's like it's out, it's there. I can chill for a while if I want to. I probably won't because I'm crazy, but I can sit back and listening to that. It honestly is re-inspiring me. Listening to Ghosts again, I don't know, just feeling that leveling up again. I feel like this album is definitely giving me the rewards that I was hoping for already, and it's giving me more than I expected, and it's kind of showing me that the amount of hard work I put into this album and even the doubts I had, I'm like, wow, like this all came together in a very, I don't know, chaotically brilliant way, you know? And it makes me kind of want to write again, kind of in this style, but kind of differently. And it makes me kind of like want to push myself even more. It's like, wow, look at all the struggles and things that held me back that I pushed through to make this crazy, long, like, I don't know, it's a lot of genres smashed into one. It's not really just pop, it's a lot of different flavors and varieties and things that I took from my own influences, threw all on a platter, and it's out. It's out there, you know? So yeah, that's what I would say is how I feel differently. It feels more like it just feels more like its own thing and its own product, and it's not like I'm not attached to it anymore. Like it's like its own thing. But yeah. Alrighty. What is next for me? Whew. Well, I've been collabing a lot more. I know a couple people want to keep it secret, so I won't publicly say it. But yeah, I've been just kind of taking opportunities, saying yes to a lot of things. Um, I don't know. Might join a band. Might just do solo stuff. Might just do collabs. I don't know. I wanted to give myself some space. I have a lot of content that's still, coming out. And I wanted to see where this album is going to really take me. I want to travel, for sure. Last year, I went to so many places, and I want to, like, double that this year. I don't know if I will, because it will be, like, I will never be in PA if I do double the amount of trips I did last year. But maybe that's a good thing, so... yeah, traveling, making music, and just seeing where this album goes. Alrighty, is there anything you'd like to say directly to the people who are listening to Chaotic Brilliance? Ties a lot into what I was saying, just the energy, you know? I'd say when I started this album and I first released Drawing a Blank, I was a little scared, I was a little shut in, I was a little, freaking out about how people would react. And I didn't even think for a second about how I would react once it was out. And I'd say whenever you're listening to this album, kind of understand that you can start from literally scratch, just like I did with Drawing a Blank. And you can end up with something pretty beautiful, pretty magnificent. And it can lead you to so many connections, people that you're gonna meet, and this album, making this album and working through each song and creating just something that's so, like, I don't know, so vibrant and such an extension of myself, putting it out there, it takes a lot to put it out there. And I want that to inspire people who are listening to kind of, if they're feeling like I did when I drew a blank, just know it doesn't stay that way. You're gonna break through. You're gonna go through up and downs. You're gonna run out of breath. You're gonna, run into walls, honestly, and you're gonna break through. So I'd say to the people who are listening to Chaotic Brilliance, take the inspiration and understand the message maybe, and if that can lead you to bigger opportunities, let it. And this album, man, it feels, I don't know, it feels so good. It's not like a trauma dump. It's not like a, I need to reflect or I need to get this sadness out or it was honestly just so much fun. It was just like, some of the songs that are a little more heavier, I, of course, sat with myself and let myself be vulnerable and talk about the things. But then making it, like me and Dan during Ran Out of Breath, it was so like, I don't know, the beat, we were just listening to the instrumental, just jamming out in the studio. It was just, I don't know, it's such a fun experience. And I'm taking a lot away from it too. Like, this kind of showed me exactly how I want to make music in the future, Yeah, I don't want to like be sad all the time in my music anymore. I used to be, and I feel like I got all of that out, and now that I can make music, it's like, gotta make it. But yeah. And then one last card, and it's the thank you card, and it's the sweetest card. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your art with the world. Thank you, Tally.